I wanted to add water to my refrigerator and I didn't have a convenient place in my house to add it under the sink or any place. So I ended up having to come down to the basement. This is my softened water line that heads toward my kitchen sink, and then that way is back to a header that goes back to the softener. So I went with SharkBite fittings because this is a pretty small job and they are quite easy to use, even though they are a little bit spendy. So what I ended up with, you can see, this is half-inch. This is called half-inch copper line, so it's 5/8 in diameter if you're measuring it at home. So I went with half-inch, half-inch, and half-inch on the T. And the reason was the gate valve that I bought with the drain in it, which is directional. You have to have the arrow facing the way you want the flow to work, or the drain won't work right. The ones that were in stock where I live were half-inch gate valves. So I didn't buy the half-inch, quarter-inch T, which is available. The reason for the quarter-inch is because that's what your refrigerator compression fitting often is. So I added a little piece of pipe and my gate valve, and then a little piece of pipe and a reducer. The reducer number, part number, is not that one. It's U050LFA. You can see it under that sticker right there. That is this reducer to get me to 1/4 inch. From there, I'm going to use a soft line that's going to go this way over to my refrigerator up through the floor. On the refrigerator is a 1/4 inch male compression fitting on the end of a small hose there. So I need to get that to accept PEX. So I went with another SharkBite piece that is 1/4 to 1/4 OD, and it is U3524 LFA, okay? And this is a 1/4 inch compression to 1/4 inch SharkBite. So then I can put, it basically looks exactly like this on that end. So then I can run, I bought a 50-foot reel or something of clear PEX, and I'll plug it into both ends that basically look like that. So I'm sorry about the shaky cam, guys, but that's what I did. I had to cut, I cut the pipe, and I didn't have enough slack to move the pipe back to get that T in there. So I ended up having to cut about that much pipe to get that sucker to fit in there. And I used, I borrowed from my neighbor, because I don't have plumbing tools. I borrowed from my neighbor this cutting tool, this rigid, very nice. And he actually also gave me a SharkBite tool, which it's nice to have because it gives you a depth. You don't have to have this, but you better know how far this thing should go in. And so for me, there's the black mark. I was using a marker to tell me how far to insert, and that's in the instructions on the unit. But it's handy to have that because it does an outside deburr. So anyway, that's what I did to get myself some water, and I'm pretty confident this is going to work pretty well. It's not leaking. This line is still working, so I like it so far.